Hello everyone, welcome to a series on environment, and the story today is about the Intergovernmental Platform on Biodiversity and Ecosystem Services, which won the Blue Planet Prize. So before we dive deeper, let me continue as to where we left yesterday. So with regards to the moist deciduous forests and dry deciduous forests, I was explaining. So the dry deciduous forest, the dry period is usually longer, but in case of the moist deciduous, it is short spelled dry season, you can say. And even rainfall is low here compared to that of moist deciduous. So since the dry period is usually longer, dry period of the winter, so the trees or winter season, so the trees shedding their leaves is of usually longer duration. You see, why the trees shed their leaves is basically to conserve water, as I have mentioned. There are certain other mechanisms which plants usually follow, like the waxy coating on the plants. This is not in any way related to this forest, I'm just mentioning. And then this pine like leaves, like in conifers, like the leaves surface area decreases. You see, when the surface area of the leaves is more, like there will be more chance for transpiration, so that is the evaporation of water from the leaves of the plant. So this is like transpiration. So when the evaporation is more, when the surface area is more, there will be higher chances of uh, evaporation of water from the leaves of the plant. So when the leaf shape is like this, usually it is that the surface area decreases, and thus the transpiration reduces, thus leading to conservation of water. Okay. So also the because of the waxy coatings, there will not be direct interface with the sunlight. The amount of water which evaporates also gets reduced because of the waxy coating. The amount of water which evaporates also gets reduced because of the presence of this waxy coating, actually. Okay. And particularly with regards to the carbon sink, leaving apart the other factors, since in evergreen forests, lush green vegetation, the carbon sequestration is usually higher in case of evergreen. So with regards to the carbon sequestration, it is higher in evergreen forests. I think you can understand this, but I'm just mentioning it for awareness. Is greater compared to the semi-evergreen, greater compared to the moist deciduous, and is greater compared to the dry deciduous. Okay. So they basically play a very important, forests usually play a major role in carbon sequestration and climate change mitigation. So this is the order of carbon sequestration of these forests. And coming to the point of Western Ghats, the Western Ghats is declared a UNESCO World Heritage Site in the year 2012. So why is it declared a UNESCO World Heritage Site is because of its endemism, or I mean it is a biodiversity hotspot. It's a home to almost 7,000 of flowering plant species, and also a lot of endemic species are present. At the same time, it holds a cultural and traditional value. It's a biological value, you can say, and cultural and traditional value. Many indigenous communities have lived along this Western Ghats. Indigenous tribals and communities, they have learned how to live sustainable living with regards to the land usage, you can say, with regards to the agricultural practices. They have founded the sustainable ways of living in these areas. And also, so they have this traditional way of living, you can say. They know about the traditional value of the plants. I mean, with regards to the medicinal value of the plants, they can use it in, they have that knowledge of the resources present in this particular area, okay. And then with regards to the aesthetic value also, it has a very significant, the landscapes, the lush greenery, all of it, the deep valleys presents an aesthetic value. And also they provide ecological value in terms of monsoon patterns. It regulates monsoon patterns in that area, and it also is home to the origin of rivers, which provides water to lots of people, millions of people. The very Kaveri river originates here only. Then it also provides a major role in climate change mitigation. So, taking all these factors into consideration, also it's a home to a lot of endemic, since it's a home to endemic species, along with that it's home to threatened and endangered species. And thus, it is not just important for India, it's important at a global level for the purpose of conservation. So, and when it is recognized as a UNESCO World Heritage Site, obviously the conservation efforts become more significant when it is recognized at a global platform. Okay, so thus declared as a UNESCO World Heritage Site in the year 2012, and it is also called as the Nilagiri Hills in Karnataka and Tamil Nadu. Since the Nilagiri Hills, there is this Nilagiri Biosphere Reserve, and it is established in 1986. It is a UNESCO World Heritage Site. And it is also home to certain communities as the Badagas, the Todas, the Kotas. Okay, it is home to almost 3,300 and plus flowering plant species, covers an area of around 5,520 square kilometers. Then with regards to the intergovernmental platform and biodiversity ecosystem services, but before we proceed, I think I did not mention about the minerals availability, that is iron, manganese and bauxite. You write it neatly, I'm just mentioning here. Bauxite ores are present, minerals present in Western Ghats. And also there are different passes here, like the Pal Ghat, the Bhor Gap, the Tal Ghat Gap. There are like the spaces between mountains, you could say. So the Pal Ghat Gap, when you look at the picture of the passes, or you will understand the Pal Ghat Gap, the Bhor Gap, the Tal Ghat Gap are present in the Western Ghats itself. And the elevation of this Western Ghats increases from north to south. The Intergovernmental Platform on Biodiversity Ecosystem Services, this won the Blue Planet Prize. This is a different topic. In the year 2024. So this is awarded annually by the Asahi Glass Foundation. Yeah, Asahi Glass Foundation, established in the year 1992. It's a Japanese-based Asahi Glass Foundation. So this is awarded annually. This is a small topic only. Awarded annually to 2 individuals or organizations who have or who contribute significantly to the improvement of the global environment. You can mention here who contribute significantly, who continue to contribute, or who have contributed already, who have or continue to contribute significantly. And this, when you say it is an intergovernmental platform, so basically whenever it is an intergovernmental, it means it's based on a treaty. It's like an agreement. So that means it's like an agreement between two or more nations. So it is an independent intergovernmental body. I'm talking about IPBES, Intergovernmental Platform and Biodiversity and Ecosystem Services. Independent intergovernmental body. So almost 145 member states are part of this right now, including India. And all UN member states can be a part of this. It is basically established in Panama City. This is established in Panama City. In 2012. So when you say Intergovernmental Platform and Biodiversity and Ecosystem Services, as I have mentioned, it's like when you say intergovernmental, it means it is based on, it's like a treaty, it's based on a treaty whenever you refer to the word intergovernmental in general. So it's like an agreement between two or more nations. Obviously, when we observe it, there are 145 member states which are part of this. So it's a science policy platform. It's a science policy platform for biodiversity and ecosystem services. So the basic aim is to integrate. Their basic aim is to integrate scientific research. They try to integrate scientific research with policy making. So when you say scientific research, what happens is with scientific research you get insights into data, you get insights into the reports, you get insights about the experimental, like after performing the experiments you get the data again, like the results. So you get a lot of insights which are based on data and reports, you can say in general. So they try to utilize this data and reports for policy making. Consider for instance, when you say with regards to the biodiversity, when you say IUCN Red List, is like a data book. So it provides data about the endangered and threatened species. And when it provides data about it, the policymakers can take into account those species which are extinct. So with the data which is available about extinct species, the policymakers try to utilize more funds. They try to make policy in such a way that more funds are provided to a particular animal which is extinct. At the same time, when they try to provide that financial resources to that particular conservation effort, they can assess it again based on the data available. Like how many species have been conserved post the conservation efforts have been introduced, like whether the species status has been changed from the extinct to a better status. So again they can evaluate it based upon the data only, right? Based on the data only they are evaluating. So then they try to formulate the policy. They feel that the conservation efforts are fruitful. They'll try to still utilize the funds in a better way. They try to provide still more financial resources. So if they feel that it is not fruitful, I'll try to discuss it in the next class. Thank you. Stay tuned for more updates.